West Ham are in the Europa Conference League final. I'm just in a really good mood. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go live at lunchtime, see who's kicking about, have a little chat with the live chat because I am absolutely buzzing. I couldn't sleep last night. I was up till God knows what hour, just looking at people's photos, watching everyone's video clips, whether it's from West Ham themselves, whether it's the footage from the changing room, whether it's the fighting in the stands, whether it's the fans that are there, fans that are in bars, fans that are at the fan part, whatever. I'm just obsessed at the minute with photos and clips. I keep on watching one or two clips as well, and it's just utter elation and happiness right now. You know, we've got Leeds in under 48 hours. Well, just over 48 hours, sorry. We play Leeds United on Sunday, and I'm just a bit like, went and done the preview with Gonzo this morning, and it's just, it's hard. It's hard to focus on the Leeds game because we've got a European final in 2.5 weeks, and I just cannot wait. I'm absolutely buzzing. Between now and then, I'm just going to be obsessed. I'm going to be obsessed with this upcoming final. I just cannot wait whatsoever. And I just thought we'd have a little chat. I'll say a few things, and then I'll see what you were. I'll see what you're all saying in the live chat. First of all, well done, David Moyes. Well done. Cups, league, completely different things. The Cups is all about the result. Just make sure your name is in the next round. You make sure your club is in the hat for the next round. And then obviously once you get to the final, make sure your club is the one getting engraved on that bloody trophy. Well, we're 90 minutes away from it, 120 minutes potentially, but we are one step closer to to winning the trophy, but also European football next season as well. And I thought last night his tactics were bang on. I thought his tactics in the first leg were bang on. Over 180 minutes. We were in complete control of that. We were in complete control. One thing I'll always say, I don't like to say it too much because then you just say it in pretty much every video and it's just pointless doing that. But sometimes it's important, and to remind myself of it, but to be in control of a game, you do not need to have the ball. Letting the other team have the ball, but have them where you want them. Be defensive, be disciplined, be organized. You can still be in control even though you don't have it. And I felt we were in control at the London Stadium. I thought we were in control last night. Now, it doesn't mean I like it. I didn't enjoy last night. I didn't enjoy last night at all. At one point, I was thinking, when does this become enjoyable? And it didn't until Pablo Fornals scored. Until then, it was just anxiety, panic attack stuff. It was hard to enjoy it. Not that I ever felt that we were looking dangerous, but because of the occasion, because of what's up for grabs, I think you sort of over emotion things. Is that phrase? There's a certain phrase I should use. I don't know what to say right now, but basically the ball would drop, we would cleave it. It's in a Premier League game, you're just nothing. You don't even panic. But because it's a semi-final second leg, as soon as that ball's in that 18-yarder, you're like, get rid of it. But I thought we were really, really good. I thought there were some big performances last night. I thought Kerr was really good again. I thought Zuma was fantastic. Paqueta just at times has that touch about him, which not always. Sometimes you can be a bit frustrating, but sometimes you can just see the class that he's got. For the third game in a row, I thought Danny Ings played well. Twice off the bench, once against Brentford. Obviously, Fornals, super sub. And it was just such a special occasion last night. Honestly, I was close to crying. A lot of people were crying. I was close to it myself when Fornals scored that goal. Unbelievable. And then this morning you wake up, I've got a smile on my face, and I'm just buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing for that final. And the best thing about it, I think the best thing about it is that you can believe we're going to win it. Like, I've always thought that we were going to win this tournament. I've always believed that we could win this tournament, or that we would. But now we're one game away. And Fiorentina's a good team. It'll be difficult. It'll be our hardest opponents yet, you'd imagine. But I think that's applicable to any final, really. Well, maybe not Man City, perhaps. Is Pep Guardiola thinking that Inter Milan's their toughest opponents yet in the Champions League? I'd imagine that's what he will say because they're in the final. So the occasion's there as well. You've got to take that into context. But it will be our most difficult one yet. But we've been superb. This whole tournament, we've been superb. And while I have grievances with how we've done in the Premier League campaign, how we played in the Premier League campaign, the European one is completely different. I think you can, I know you can't do it overall, but for this video, I am isolating the two. We've been superb in that European competition. David Moyes has been fantastic, and his football works. His football works. If next season we can almost have a hybrid of managers, please, and if Moyes can stay on just for the Europa League, should we win the Conference League, then that would be wonderful. Now let's see what you're all saying in the live chat. Nick said, The relief when that goal went in was ridiculous. Felt like a huge amount of stress. Yeah, completely. We won it, didn't we? It was just unbelievable. John says we'd have liked our forward play to have been a little bit better. Stevie said the worst thing is a pathetic stadium for a major Euro final. Woeful. Do you know, I think what they've done, and I'm just guessing, I think what they've done, UEFA, I think they've picked a low-capacity stadium, and with the greatest of respect to them, and I could be wrong here, I don't know, but just in case Alkmaar and Basel got to the final, would they fill a 70,000-seater? I don't know. They might do. I don't know. Like I said, please excuse my ignorance. I'm trying to work out why UEFA would have such a small stadium. And my only thinking is, in case, because of this competition, because of the lack of heavyweights in it, what happens if two teams get to the final that don't traditionally have big followings? The last thing they need for a new tournament, which the footballing world, there's a lot of people skeptical about it. I do think it's England more than anyone. When I say England, I'd imagine there's maybe a little bit of skepticism with the other major leagues as well, whereas I think it's probably widely accepted in the lesser leagues because they don't really have success in the Champions League or Europa League. So to have success in a European tournament would be huge for them. I mean, you take Italy, they've got a club in every final, haven't they? They've got four. They've got four of the finalists left. They've got a club, Inter, Roma, whoever Roma are playing is escaping me right now. And then obviously we're playing Fiorentina. So Italy have had a really good season for European. But I do just wonder if they picked a small stadium just in case. The last thing they need in the second year of the tournament that's a little bit iffy is a half-filled stadium. It would just be sheer embarrassing. We speak about how Roma winning is probably a good thing for UEFA. It gives a little bit of a stamp of authority for that club, for that manager to win it, especially then when you see what they're doing in the Europa League this year. The last thing you want to do is undo all that good work with images of a half-filled stadium for the final. I think everybody would just laugh at it then. It would just degrade that competition even further. Right, let's see what you're all saying in live chat. Alison said it was sad to hear Fornals say they had no friends and family there to support him. Maybe he thought after Moyes ticked him off after Brentford. I didn't hear him say that. I've not actually watched all the player interviews yet, but he did have family there. It's the West Ham one. I know what you're saying. There is a bit of a shame. Lackey said, happy to be part of the journey. Been a long time coming. Everybody must soak in while it's here. Joshua said the fact Fiorentina play 3 days before the final is a potential benefit, although I would assume heavy rotation. Chris would like to see Mubama get a start against Leicester with Potts and maybe Casey in there as well. Paperball said Antonio bossed their defence and didn't flop to the floor once. I thought he was excellent. I thought Antonio was excellent. Obviously no goals or assists or anything, but because of the way we played, yes, you would like him to get a goal and assist, but I think his primary job wasn't necessarily to do that. It was essentially first line of defence, hold the ball up, try and get a run when you can. I thought he had a really good game. Not man of match, but I thought he was really good, and I agree with what you're saying. Arthur said the stadium is usually F off to the fans that you get from the people who run the game. Stevie said we've earned more money than Brighton, Fulham, Villa, Liverpool because of our European run and may get Europa League football next season, which means we've had better seasons. Do you know something, Stevie? I don't expect everybody to agree, right? But I think we've had a better season. If we win this tournament, I think we've had a better season than Arsenal. They've exceeded expectations further than us because qualifying for the Champions League. But I think you've got to judge everything on silverware. You absolutely have to. This is why I always made an argument about Steven Gerrard when he joined Aston Villa. He won the league with Rangers, but St Johnstone won the League Cup and the Scottish Cup. And my argument was he wasn't even the best manager in Scotland that season because someone else had won 2 trophies. You're judged on silverware. You're absolutely judged on silverware. I think we will have had a better season than anyone that has not won a trophy this season, in my opinion. That's how I see it. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean like Newcastle have had an amazing season, but who's had a better one, Newcastle or us? Well, I think in terms of long term, it's Newcastle. They're playing Champions League football next season, probably. But in terms of this season, well, it would be us. We've got a trophy. Newcastle don't have a major honour. In 50 years' time, when you look back at this season, you're not going to say, well, Newcastle won 4th in the league. It's not a thing. But you will look back and say, well, West Ham won the Conference League. When these graphics come up with who won what trophy over the years, you see it now, Cup Winners' Cup, who's won every single year. Our club badge will be on there for history now. That's my opinion anyway. Stevie says that he agrees with me about capacity, but at least I don't disagree. Like I said, I just think they've been a little bit too safe, and UEFA have apologised. UEFA have said they've got it wrong, and from now on, it's going to be a minimum of 30,000. This had to happen in order for that rule to come in. Unfortunately, we're one of the 2 teams in the final. E-Zone James, good YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already subscribed. E20 Zone says 90 minutes from Glory Zuma and Gerd was a brick wall last night. I thought they were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Tejan says, how many of this current team do you think will be considered legends? I sort of touched on this in my Antonio video. It's very subjective because obviously me, you, and let's click on the next 2. Hammer, 1999, Will, Nick. We'll all consider certain players to be legends of this club. Let's just pick out the easy one, Billy Bonds. There we go, legend. So Trevor Booking, legend. There's easy ones. We all say yes. But then there's a lot of like subjective ones, which a lot of people say is a legend, but some people say, well, he's not actually. And I think some of these players might end up in that category. A bit like Mark Noble. Was Noble a legend? To some people he is, to some people he isn't. I think you've got to take a few things into consideration. Everybody's idea of a legend's different. There's no definitive answer. But I think age is also one of those things. So because I haven't seen Bonds or Brooking play, I didn't even see McAvenny play. It's so to me, like, I don't really have that many legends that I've seen live. So where somebody that's a bit older than me, take Gonzo, for example, if we were discussing Mark Noble, you say, yeah, you can't have Noble. That's not a real legend. Billy Bonds is, blah, blah, blah. Because he's seen him, it's easier to relate to. That's my opinion. So I'm going to leave that. If I fancy doing a controversial topic in the summer where you take the pin out of a grenade and throw it on a video, I might cover that one because I've got 3 players from the current squad. There's 3 players in my mind that gain legend status at West Ham. The rest of them heroes, cult heroes. Absolutely, everybody does, in my opinion. But I think there's 3 that I would put in, but they have to win that trophy. Hammer 1999 says our wingers have to find form and soon. I'd give them 70 minutes in our next 2 games and hope they get goals and confidence. Being disappointed by Bowen of late. Antonio was excellent last night. Nick says he agrees with me. No one's going to remember Arsenal coming second in 10 years' time. Correct. Thank you, Nick. Glad there's someone else here that's agreeing with me. James is saying nobody will remember 3rd in the league. They'll remember West Ham's cup finalists. I think you've got to win it. I don't think you remember cup finalists. I think people only remember winners. Dave says not caring about Premier League is dangerous. A couple of good wins can have a very positive. I know what you're saying. We want to win, but it's when I said last night I don't care about Leeds game. I don't know how to describe it. I can't focus on it. I can't. I'm not going to sit here and I'm buzzing for Sunday. I'm not buzzing for Sunday. I'm buzzing for the final. I'm already buzzing for it. Sunday morning, I might get up and be like, yes, come on, let's go beat Leeds. You know, some players, their last home game for West Ham. Big occasion. Everybody will be happy. Everybody will be buzzing. Pablo Fornals must start. Our Leeds preview's out tonight. I make a case. Fornals has got to be the first name on the team sheet for obvious reasons. But for now, I'd be pretending if I said I was Dave. Sorry, I'd be pretending if I said I'm bothered about the Leeds one. It's difficult at the minute. Wayne, Legends tier list video. We'll do something like that. We'll do something. Henry. The funny thing is, Henry said obviously Rice is 1. I'm not sure another 2. All I'm going to say is the comment right before you was Alfie. He nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. Rice, Antonio, and Creswell. That would be the 3 legends for me. Obviously, it's one of those things. It's like if Antonio scores a goal in the final, that helps him kind of thing. But that would be the 3 for me. That would be them. Right, I'm going to do something a bit unusual now. I'm going to show you random pictures. Now, because I don't have Charlie, normally I get Charlie to do stuff. Look, Charlie made this. I'm not promoting the Julian Dick sign merch, but it's on the screen now. So normally I get Charlie to do the graphics, and he's good at them. But I don't have Charlie, so you're stuck with me. But there's some pictures from the last night I really like. This one, it's for people that's not on social media, really. Danny Ings celebrating Fornals scoring before Fornals was even taking a shot. Absolutely love that. This is the best picture of the night for me. That picture is incredible. I absolutely love it. That is art. That is art. Hanging in the Louvre. That is art. David Moyes, I mean, listen, credit to him. I'm the first one to give him criticism. I think he's done a tremendous job getting us to the final. We win this. Like I said it, whatever video it was, and people I'm surprised how many disagreed with me, actually, but that's their opinion. That's fine. But we win this. He becomes a hero for me as well. Like, get that statue carved out at the London Stadium. Over 40 years for a trophy. He's taken us to a final, and he needs to win it, though. He has to win it, but we've got a bloody good chance. And he's been under pressure. He's done really well the last few weeks, and he's justified David Sullivan's decision. Cresswell, buzzing for him. Absolutely buzzing for Aaron Cresswell. Look at that emotion in his face. He's usually really, really calm. He's usually calm. Now, I know people will point to his red card last season and say, well, no, he's not. But I don't think that was rash. I think, if anything, it was a calculated risk that he took, hoping the referee wouldn't have the balls to send him off, and lost. I think he played chicken with the referee a little bit. But just, for him, I'm really pleased for him, because he's come back into the team, displaced Emerson. Next year is his 10 years at West Ham United, and he can win a trophy, and that's legend status for me. To do 10 years service at a club and win a trophy is enough for me to be a legend, and I'm really pleased with him. I think he had a really good game, but that photo, I just love that photo of Aaron Cresswell. Just the emotion seeping out of him says it all. Then we've got Declan Rice now. It's the video of him singing Bubbles. I don't have it, but the video of him singing Bubbles after the game is incredible. In the changing room, all the players singing, Bowen Shag and Danny Dyer. Declan Rice having a beer. Was that his first ever beer, by the way? He's never had alcohol before, but last night he was just sipping on a Heineken, purchased, of course, by our sporting... What a picture. Our sporting director with a creative Heineken for the lads. Nice spread before it got trashed, and Danny Ings started lobbing Scotch eggs around the room and whatever, but that is a picture. Obviously, a couple of players missing, Paqueta and Fornals. Are we doing their drugs test? I think Fornals is missing as well. Can't quite see him. But Fornals and Paqueta had a drugs test, so they missed out on all the fun after. Because obviously everybody was worried with Paqueta because of what happened in the crowd after. Then this one, I mean, Mark Noble crying on the pitch after. That photo, it's enough to tug on the heartstrings, isn't it? That is enough to tug on the heartstrings. I've got a couple of videos I'm going to play you in a second. That's the wrong one, Gio. Was the right one, Gio. Right, let's see what you're all saying, and then we'll go back. Yeah, honestly, well, I just seen them on social media. I just saved them. I thought, you know what? Not everybody's on social media. People watching this aren't on social media. They might have seen some of those photos. So I thought I'll just click on them and just say why I love them. There's loads of pictures from last night that I think is incredible. I've got a couple of videos from the fan part, which I'll show you as well. I'll keep playing one or two of them. Mesa says it'll be proper West Ham for 4 or 5 key players get injured in these Premier League games. Ultimately, don't really make a difference to our season. It's difficult. The final's too far away. If the final was next week, then sure, it's easy. But because it's so far away, you've got to play them. I think you've got to keep them match fresh, and it's a difficult one to judge. Actually, Moyes has got a difficult job with the Leeds game and the Leicester game as to who to play, how long to play them. Because if he does get injured, we're all going to get upset. But if he doesn't play you don't play any game, you're going to be a little bit rusty. So Moyes has got a difficult gig to prepare for that final. So it'll be interesting. Amanda says social media stuff's been brilliant. She's still feeling really emotional. I completely agree. I've absolutely loved all the photos and the clips. Now I'm going to play the clips from the fan park, then I'll tell you about the fan park. Apologies, the video is not the best quality. I got it sent to me. It's in really good quality, but the software we use doesn't accept the format movie. You have to convert it. So I've converted it, and it's sort of degraded the quality, unfortunately. I don't know what I'm doing. Charlie does this stuff for me. So I'm going to play you two. The first one is when West Ham scored. Hackney Wick Fan Park. I know, what is it? I'll tell you in a second, but I'm going to play you one more video. And this is the most underused chant at West Ham, I think. Like I said, quality degraded, but the sound works. You'll get it. I've played this video I reckon at least 50 times in the last 12 hours. Absolutely love it. I love that version. I absolutely love that version of it. It's not sang enough. So when I got that clip last night, honestly, I've played that at least 50 times. I just absolutely love it. Right, here we go. John said, watched the game last night. It was so stressful. Took a few years off his life. Great video. The atmosphere is going to be bouncing this Sunday. I completely agree. Dell, who do we want in goal? Yeah, I thought Aviola had a really good game, Dell, to be honest with you. I think I'd leave Aviola, but you've got to have that conversation as to who is in goal for the penalty shootout should it occur. And that's what David Moyes has got 2 weeks to work out, really. But I would be playing Aviola on Sunday, and I'd be playing him against Leicester. There's no point resting your goalkeeper in 2 league games. Get him in the goal and get him used to it. Keep his match sharpness up, really. I think there's an argument could be said the reason we conceded that goal at the London Stadium is just lack of match sharpness from Areola. We always apply it to outfielders, but never goalkeepers. So let's give Areola the benefit of the doubt and let's keep him in the goal, I think. I think we've got to keep him in the sticks. Give him as much game time as possible. Miley says Moyes needs to start Fornals in remaining league games for some proper game time with Bam also. As for the Champions League, bring us the cup, then leave. I don't think that means Champions League. John says, it's starting to sink in. Thanks for all the videos. Think you come to see you at the fan part? Yes, you shall do. Dean says, getting to the final and slapping Big Sam's Leeds would be a beautiful 4 days. It's rude, but I don't think Lee's going to agree. Sorry, Lee, but that was Dean, not me. Lee said that, not me. Right then, the fan park. It's in Hackney Wick. If you want to get a ticket, you can do. The link is in the description below. I've capped the letters that says fan park tickets, and there's a link next to it. Click that link, and you can grab your ticket. The fan park is at the Colour Factory, which is in Hackney Wick, which is 1 minute walk from the Hackney Wick tube station. You cannot miss it. You come out the tube station, it's right there. You can't miss it. If you're not comfortable getting to Hackney Wick, you can get off at Stratford. It's a 20-minute walk across the park, or just jump in a taxi. It's 3 minutes to drive. I don't know how much it'll cost you, £7 or something in order to get there. So there'll be loads of West Ham fans there. It was sold out last night. That's 2 videos of the atmosphere at the fan park. We are going, Hammers Chat are going to the fan park there. So if you're a Hammers Chat patron, you can join us. Just go on to Patreon and have a look. The link, I'm not going to give you the link, but if you're a Hammers Chat patron, log into your Patreon for the Hammers Chat and have a look, and there's details there. But if you're not a patron, you can still come. You just can't come into the Hammers Chat bit, but you can get the general admission. The link is in the description below. This will sell out. Also, the ticket prices go up at the minute. It's a bit of an early bird price. So you grab your ticket now. This time next week or the week after, the ticket prices will go up. I'm not sure when and by how much, but it was sold out last night. Fantastic atmosphere. So if you fancy joining a load of West Ham fans to watch the final together in Hackney Wick, do that. And I'm sure the party will go, if we win it, the party will go on long after. It'll go into the night, whether it ends up at the London Stadium, whether we go to Barking Road and Green Street. I don't know. Nobody's got a plan. Nobody knows what to do. It's new to us. But I think we'll be up till the early hours of the morning, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm still up at 8 a.m. the next day celebrating us winning somewhere. But I am buzzing for this fan park. I'm not just saying that. I really, really am. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. It'll be some party. And I cannot wait for that DJ to get pumping out that version of Bubbles. Stevie says, don't forget, there's always been 3 UEFA Cup competitions, European Cup, UEFA Cup and Cup Winners' Cup. All those say Mickey Mouse are just jealous. It doesn't bother me. It bounces off me altogether. When people try and play it down and say, oh, it's not a real cup, I'm like, if that's your opinion, that's fine. But it's a real cup in my opinion. I'm not going to let anyone piss on my parade. Thank you very much. I'm buzzing for it. Win this trophy. But also next season, Europa League. Let's not downplay that. Let's not downplay Europa League next season. What an achievement that would be. I've got used to European football. I thoroughly enjoy European football. And it could have a big hand in how we go about things this summer, whether it's a change of ownership, director of football, whatever, attracting players, whatever. It might not impact it, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to do any harm. It's going to do absolutely no harm whatsoever. And if we've got the Europa League, we won't have to cut numbers. It sounds a bit weird, but should we, let's just say we don't win the final. There's an argument for trimming the squad a little bit, because having like 22 senior players all on over 60 grand a week it's quite a lot with no European football. But and there might be player contracts as well. You just don't know. At the minute, myself and Gonzo quickly touched on this in the Leeds preview. At the minute, out of contract in a month is Fabianski, Sufal, Ogbonna, Creswell, officially Creswell, Lanzini. If we get Europa League, there's an argument some of those might get a new deal. All right, okay, now we need you. Now we need you next season. Whereas if we don't have Europa League, they might not get a new contract. So you don't know what hinges on us winning this trophy. There's probably a bloody lot. Right, let's see what you're all saying, then I'll disappear. David said Ings celebrating early was matched by look of inevitability of the nutmeg player's face. Wayne says, unless the City fans, it's better than European final they're in this year. Brian says, in 10 years, this cup will not be looked at as a Mickey Mouse, I promise you. I believe you, don't worry. Paul says, only a real cup when you're not in it. Hammer 1999 says, desperate for us to sing Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that at the Lane and Emirates. Dean says, who surprised us last night? Creswell for him was by far the most calm player on the pitch. A Gerd, and this is going to sound really harsh. A Gerd worries me a little bit. I think he can be 9 out of 10, but he can also be 3 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? A Gerd can be man of match or the worst player on the pitch, and he had a good game. And like I said, it sounds bad saying this, but I was surprised at how good he was. There was no errors, there was nothing. Because I expect that from Creswell, Keller. I kind of expect that now. Zuma, yeah. Reich, yeah. Suchek, yep. Paqueta, yep. If anything, the player that surprised me most was Bowen, but not for a good thing. I was expecting Bowen to be like one of the best players on the pitch, and I thought he was, unfortunately, not the worst one for us. So probably those two for different reasons. But I think everybody played as expected. Sharky said, another great season in Europe would be great for West Ham. We can attract a better quality of players. Carl's asking about Declan singing in his interviews. Yeah, honestly, I don't think Declan will mind being here for another season. Does he want out? I think demanding to get out and not minding getting out is two different things. Does he want to move to Man City? Yes. But is he going to kick up a stink if he doesn't get one? I don't think so. I think he's quite patient. I don't think Declan would mind giving us another year. But at the same time, I don't think he'd mind if one of the clubs he wants to go to come in for him and he goes. I think it's win-win for Declan Rice. But I do wonder if winning the Conference League might play a big part in that and having European football. Next season. Yes, if you want to bring people, get additional tickets. Yeah, do that, Oxby. Yeah, I did enter the ballot and I never got anything. I know there's meant to be another one being drawn, but I've sort of just assumed I'm not going to get anything. Adrian said Kerr made a number of amazing tackles, was worried he was going to pick up a second. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was absolutely excellent. I thought they caused us bother down that side all night. I thought Bowen was struggling a lot down that side. But I thought he was, superb. Bailey's in Amsterdam Airport. What a win! Good man. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had the best night of your life. Honestly, like I said, I've loved seeing all the photos and the videos from people, whether at the game or just in Amsterdam at the farm park and that. Anyway, I've loved seeing everything. I can't get enough of it, to be honest with you. Kieran said Pablo scoring that goal brought him to tears. Couldn't yell too loudly as they want to wake his wife and kids. That was very considerate of you. DP Salmon says we need to rest Bowen. He was a yard off the pace. I have to agree with that a little bit. And Mikey said open bus through East London with Rice Holding Trophy. I hope so. I hope the club have got something planned, by the way. I hope they've got something, whether it's the Saturday or the Sunday. They better have something planned with a bus somewhere. Like I said, whatever day, I'm not bothered. the route will be controversial because obviously a lot of people say, nah, down Green Street and Barking Road to the town hall, but I'd imagine the club will be inclined to end up at the London Stadium, so we'll have to wait. We'll wait and see, but I'm hoping that they do something. Ben says Bowen's more comfortable when he has an informed Soufal behind him. Not wrong. George says Kerr's one-on-one is such a good defender. Really starting to settle in, same as Paqueta. I wonder if players like Curry and Scamacca could have similar impacts once they play more games. Don't disagree. Ian's 49th. Happy birthday, Ian. Well, you got an early birthday present last night, so hope you had a good one. Right, I'm going to disappear now. I just wanted to go live and continue celebrating, to be quite frank with you, because I'm in a really happy mood. But there you go. There's some pictures. There's some clips. Tickets for the fan part below. Tickets for your Julian Dix merch below. Not tickets for merch. Pre-order Julian Dix merch below. Anyway, I'm going. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. Subscribe to Hammers Chat. Myself and Gonzo are back tonight. Pardon me. At 5 o'clock with our Leeds United preview. So I'll catch up with you then.